Toilet paper, sealant. In this video, I'm going to talk about which supplies you should be stocking up on or have at least a ready supply of for the upcoming months so that you are still riding your bike. So let's get into it. Welcome back, Pathless Peddlers, and if you're new to the channel, if you're into the non-competitive side of cycling, the supple life, you have found your people, hit that subscribe button. So we live in some truly interesting times. There's a lot of panic buying going on. Lots of businesses are closing. Some bike shops are still kind of quasi-operational. And in all this, if you have any prepper tendencies and want to be riding your favorite bike next month or months from now, it's probably a good time to start thinking about stocking up on a couple of items. So as I'm making this video, I'm going to add there's going to be a lot of asterisks. Some countries are experiencing a complete ban on cycling, then by no means should you break the laws. Another big asterisk is what is the best way to properly support your local bike shop. Some bike shops have adjusted their sales, so there's curbside drop-off or they'll do delivery. Others are really limiting in-person customer interaction. So again, it's up to your local bike shop and use your best judgment. With all that said, I am a little bit more on the worst case scenario side of the spectrum. So I decided recently to stock up on some consumables, some things I would need to keep the bikes rolling for the foreseeable future, at least through summer, if not a little bit beyond that. Hopefully by then we'll be on the other end of all this. But even so, you know, supply chains break down, manufacturing breaks down, and there's going to be a lag time in getting certain components. Bikes, I know some bike brands are really kind of delaying the delivery of newer models, all that stuff. All that to say, if you want to be riding your bike this summer, you should at least consider making sure your bikes are, one, in good working order, but also picking up a couple things. So the first no-brainer is probably a nice quart of your favorite sealant. In my case, I use stands. It's just what's in the bike. This is probably a good thing to have if you're running tubeless and your bikes have been hung up all winter. And chances are it's probably dried out and you need a topping off. Not too many replacements that you can manufacture at home. So definitely something to grab a couple quarts of. If you don't use tubeless, definitely pick up some new tubes, some patches, and some vulcanizing glue. Making sure the glue that's in your current bike bag is not completely dried out. Another consumable that you should probably stock up on or at least replace early in the season is your bicycle's chain, especially if you've been riding it through winter and it's gotten all rusty and gunky from the road grime. Never a bad thing to replace it in the spring and also have, one or two spare chains to last you a little bit longer. I picked up a couple of chains for various bikes, so always good to have because again, no chain, no riding. And lastly, another consumable that you should pick up is probably some new brake pads. Especially if you've been riding through the winter, chances are your brake pads are pretty worn and they need replacement. So definitely get a set to replace it now and maybe a couple extra pairs to keep you running all through summer and early into next year. So those are some ideas of a couple things to stock up on in the next couple weeks to make sure that you're riding all through summer and later into the year with a nice functioning bike. Did I leave anything out? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want more videos on different bike accessories, be sure to check out the playlist. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And as always, keep the supple side down.